Hey, family tech man, how's your spirit? Talk to me. Tell me something good. We're gonna talk about life's adversities today. Because life's adversities seem to come around all the time. Give you all a minute to situate yourselves. I'm gonna light up me something before I get. It's called TACC. It's the program, the book. It's a workbook now on Amazon. That workbook. Check it out. 10.99. Can't beat it. And guarantee you to change your life. Hello, Boots. How we doing today? Let me see. Oh, okay. I'm trying to wait for y'all to come on in. Okay. Okay, family. As y'all notice, it's called TAC. Through adversity comes change. My name is Rich Comer. I have a book which I just showed you. Through adversity come change. It's on Amazon. I have an ebook on Amazon, and then I also have a workbook on Amazon. Through adversity come change. It should be on there tonight or tomorrow, definitely. So check it out. It's not going to hurt you, and it's something very positive, something that I think will help. And it's things we need now, helping each other. Um, as you know, the platform is called TAC, Diversity Come Change. It's 5 principles, 3 articles, one healer. The healer's helping everyone accept, achieve, and appreciate love. This is what we're lacking so much right now in today's society. There's no love. It's like a power grab. And it's sad because we're all one big family, whether we like it or not. These are the things that are what they are. But I wanted to talk about life adversities. A lot of times we don't understand the adversities that we're going through, you know, um, and we think that the world is going to end because of the adversities that we're going through. And all the adversity that you're going through is a lesson to make you strong, excuse me, for what God has for you in the future. And I like to use what the brother Wallow said. And he always gives some positive wisdom. You have to live your life right. You can't cheat blessings. You can't straddle the fence. You can't out try to outthink God, because that's where your blessings come from. You can't outthink God. So it's the best thing to do is go through your adversity. This is why you have to go through your adversities, not around it, not over it, not under it, through. And the only way you're going to do that is going through your adversities. And a lot of times we're afraid to go through our adversities because we're afraid to face the realities of our lives. A lot of times our lives are kind of messed up. And the only reason why they're messed up is because of us. And we don't even see that. We blame everybody about all the things that we go through and we're going through. And if we look within ourselves, we realize that everything that happens in our lives, we are in control of it. And until you take the responsibility, like I was saying the other night, a lot of people don't want to take responsibility. A lot of people don't want responsibility. And responsibility makes you a better person. It builds intestinal fortitude, like my old head Akbar Prey said, and it builds character. Being held responsible for something, going through life's adversities is a blessing. Like being able to pay my bills, all my bills, and still have money left over to do other things or invest or whatever I want to do with. That's a blessing. I don't have to worry about nobody kicking me out or sleeping on somebody's couch. I have my own, and through my adversities, this is how the change took place. I had to go through a halfway house for a year. I had to go through a shelter for a year. So in doing so, I had to do the right thing in order for me to get to the position that I am with the things that I had to do. Because I was just talking to my boy the other night when he came and we put the book on. And it's a lot of people that were in the shelter when we were there, still there. And that's 3 years. And it's only because you don't want to do better for yourself. Some people have mental issues. I get that. But when you can do better, you're supposed to. And this is a part of going through life's adversities. This is why adversities are so important in our lives because they shape and mold us to who we are supposed to be. God didn't make a mistake when you came to this earth. Like I tell you all the time, you have a purpose. You're one of billions of sperm cells that made it. You ain't get shit out, spit out, or swallowed. You're here for a reason. You just have to find your purpose, your reason, why you're here, and what's the significance. And if you pay attention, your adversities will show you the direction that God wants your life to go in. Because my adversities are different from yours, and yours are different from mine. But we all have adversities. And the beautiful thing about it, my adversities shape and mold me to what's up, baby boy? Who God wants me to be. Your adversity shapes and molds you to who God wants you to be when you're paying attention. And see, this is the whole thing. You have to pay attention. If you don't pay attention, you're not going to be able to see what God has for you. Because those adversities that He's putting you through is a direction that He wants you to go in so that you can win. Life's adversities are not to hurt us, they're to help us, they're to guide us to where we need to be in life. Well, like I tell you, the second principle is what? Wherever you're at in life, God put you there because He's driving the car and He makes no mistakes. But you must take the responsibility of saying that maybe it's something that I did that put me in that position. Uh, You know, and this is the thing that we have to be honest with ourselves about. And when we can be honest with ourselves about that, this is where the blessing comes in at. This is where the blessing comes in at when we can be honest with ourselves and live our lives righteously and do the right thing. not only by ourselves but by others. It's a beautiful thing, like the process is I mean, you can't even make it up. Like it's so beautiful, because God makes a way for us, and we have to be patient. We have to understand that, everything we going through in life is for a reason. Nothing that God puts us through is for happenstance or for play. It's for happenstance or for play. It's for us to learn to go through whatever we have to go through and be who He wants us to be. A lot of times people are afraid to be who they're supposed to be. I've gone through that myself, you know, but it comes in time. It's a learning mechanism that we have as human beings. It's called survival. It's called going through our adversities and making the changes we need to make in our lives. Just think, uh over 10 years ago, I was just reinventing myself and changing my mindset to becoming someone of positivity. Now look today. I have 3 books on Amazon. Well, 2 books in a Kindle on Amazon. I have a podcast. After going through all the drama I've gone through in the last uh 30, 40 years, you know, and I still keep it positive. I don't let nothing hold me back. And I give love everywhere I can because I know how important it is to have love. You know, it's nothing like uh sharing life with people that you have a common uh vibe or thing, you know, and it's a blessing, when you can build, mentally with people. A lot of people don't understand that, when we going through our adversities, it's best to have more than one uh mindset because now you can see different angles of life. This is why we have to go through the road of change, past, present, future, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, go through your what's, when's, where's, why's, how, and sometimes who. Because you have to, it's a cycle, it's a path to get to blessings, to get to greatness. It just doesn't come like that. And also, like when I tell you, when the universe chooses you to put the glasses on, the 3 things, you can never take them off. You can never unsee life. You can't give them to nobody, and you can't get people to see what you see because now you see life for what it really is, and you see people for who they are. But you don't judge. You just understand that's where they're at in their life. And you must always never, never, never judge anyone because when you do that, God is going to do something to make you get judged. And I had to learn that the hard way with quite a few things. But I'm so happy today that I'm able to see these things, in the beginning and make changes. Whereas before I had to go down the rabbit hole, so it's a beautiful thing, man, when you can understand life for what it is and people for who they are and not judge. That means you've grown and life's adversities haven't broke you down. They've only made you stronger. They made you wiser. They made you intelligent so that you can see life for what it is and people for who they are and understand that no matter what, you have to be you. No question, Scotty. Ain't no question. Without a shadow of a doubt. What don't break you make you stronger. And as long as you can get up every day, as long as you can get up every day and put your feet on that floor and do something to make your life better, man, you're winning. I look at the Hasda people from Tanzania, Zimbabwe, and they're the last of the hunter gatherers. They go out every day and catch fresh monkey, whatever kind of meat. They eat roots and they share amongst each other, and they're the happiest people in the world. They don't fight amongst each other, none of that, you know. So the whole thing is life adversities affect each and every one of us different. The whole thing is this right here: how you deal with life adversities. And a lot of people don't understand that. And my nose is itching. My old ass gray hairs just came out. Um, it's about trying to understand life, understand adversities, understand the things that uh, God put in your way to teach you. Um, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they was talking about missing blessings. You can't miss blessings because whatever God has for you, nobody can take it from you. And whatever He doesn't have for you, nobody can give you. So whatever you get from God, that's a blessing, and you've earned it. I always try to really understand people, man, because people are very difficult, especially in this day and time. The mindset of people, um, I really don't understand, uh, because lies are now the truth, and and it's cool. Like certain things, like in life, this is why, like I say, with through adversity comes change. If we don't go through our adversities, we can never make change. And if we don't pay attention, we can never get to it. This is another thing. You have to be able to pay attention. You have to really be able to pay attention to life, because life throws curveballs. Yeah, but we gonna make our own way though, pimping. We ain't got to blame nobody. You know, we're gonna show the world that you can be a good person and live right and do the right thing. It's not hard. You just gotta just do it. It's like Nike, just do it. The world is gonna be the world. But the beautiful thing about it, you don't have to be like the world. You can live right and do the right thing no matter what. And a lot of people don't understand that. And this is why I'm here. I'm here to try to help people to understand life a little better. If we can just understand life a little better, we'll be in a very, very great place in our lives. We'd be in a very, very great place in our lives. But we don't. Okay, let me go back. We don't like to listen. We don't let me see some. Sorry about this, y'all. I'm just trying to figure something out. Trying to figure something out. There we go. But the beautiful thing is, right, when we get to a certain place in our life and a certain age, we see life for what it really is, and all we want to do is help. My thing is helping. If I can't help, I don't want to be a part. And Scotty, man, it's all about trying to help each other, man. Grow, help each other build, and when we can do that, man, it's no stopping us. You know, my spirit is blessed, and yours, my brother. You know, um, like I said, my whole thing is just trying to help us to win, going through life adversities together, and asking the hard questions and giving the hard answers. Yes, thank you for that compliment. And the blessing is when we can uh come together, heal, learn the lies from the truth, and then do the right thing in our lives. You imagine if we could all, like, over in where's it at? I think it's one of them countries over there. They're striking because these people want to come and buy their island to make a strategic spot. Like, it's, I mean, the people are revolting. They're not going to work. They're not doing nothing. Not spending money. And the only way you hurt these people is hit their pocketbook. That's the only thing they respect. And we must first heal before we can do anything of organization. And like I said, not only heal, we must learn the lies from the truth, because you can still be tricked if you don't know the lies from the truth, and you're healed, because some lies can really sound real. But the whole thing is, once you heal, we come together and deal with life adversities together. This is the only way we're going to win. We can't win no other way. We can't beat them with weapons, because they have all of the technology. Only thing they respect is power, and how you beat them is in the pockets. And it's not violent. It's just through doing the right thing. Coming together, healing, learning lies from the truth, and going from there. You know, it's no matter what people say, do, or think. If you start living right and you're vibrating on a higher level, you're going to surpass everyone. This is what they don't want. This is why they keep us divided. They don't want us to vibrate on a higher level, because once we come together and start vibrating on a higher level, man, the devil has no way in. Yeah, shatter the lie, no question. And the only way we do that is through truth. See, one thing about the truth needs no support, stands alone. And the truth is God, and God is love, and love is God. Strongest force in the universe can make you the happiest, but it can also make you the saddest. It's up to you. And my thing is just living right, doing the right thing. And if you do that, life is going to be great. Trust and believe that. Life's adversities are there for a reason. Like I said earlier, God makes no mistakes. So whatever he puts you through, he's going to get you through because he takes care of everything he makes. Birds go out every day with nothing. They come back with a full belly to feed their babies, and so forth and so on. God knows what he's doing. So his plans are what they are. It's just we have to figure out what our plans are supposed to be. And the only way we can do that is we have to heal, learn the lies from the truth, come together and do positivity, vibrate on a high level so the devil has no place in our world. Simple. I had to learn this going through hell. And why I want to give it to y'all is because you shouldn't have to go through hell to get it. I did it for y'all. Put it that way. So learn from my lessons, my examples, from my story, from my experience, you know, so that you don't have to go through the things that I had to go through. And life is like I said, life will be a whole lot better once you have the understanding of life and understand that your adversities are only there to guide you on the path that God wants you on when you pay attention. And even when you don't pay attention, sometimes it guides you to where you need to be so you can pay attention. Like I said, he makes no mistakes. And in life's adversities, you got to find your purpose. And no one can do that for you. Only you can do it for yourself. And when you find your purpose, life becomes uh your oyster, as they say. The world is yours because you're doing something that you love to do, that you would do it even if you didn't get paid. So like I said, man, you just have to strive. You have to go through life lessons. You have to learn that no matter what in life, God is in charge. And whatever he's putting you through, he's going to get you through. And it's a reason, it's a method to the madness. Like I said, you have a purpose. You wasn't shit out, spit out, or swallow. You have a purpose and you're here. You beat the odds. So let's find your purpose. But the only way you're going to find your purpose is you have to heal first, you know? And the only way you're going to heal, get that workbook that's on Amazon, Through Adversity Come Change workbook, and go through it. And you let me know what you think, you know? Because like I said, all I want us to do is to win. If we can heal, come together, and implement these plans that God gave me, we have no other choice but to win because they came from him, you know? Like I said, my thing is no matter who you are, whether you like me or you don't, I want us to win. We don't have to win together, but I still want you to win. I'm speaking of my new Through Adversity Come Change workbook that's on Amazon. It's a red text that you can find on Amazon, and it's Through Adversity Come Change as well as the book and the Kindle. But the Kindle is Through Adversity Come Change 2. The paperback is Through Adversity Come Change, and the workbook is Through Adversity Come Change, but it's a red book instead of the green. You can't miss it. They all lined up together. So that's where you can find it. and it's 10.99. The price is 10.99. Can't beat it for something that can help you heal. You can't beat the price. The wisdom is worth billions, and you're getting it for a little or nothing. So this is what's going on. And like I said, today is life's adversities, and they have a way of showing up. You just have to be prepared and know how to navigate them. Like I always tell you, it's more than one way of skinning a cat while choking the stuff out of them and messing up the fur. You just have to figure it out. Just like your purpose, you got to find your purpose through your adversities. Your choices shape your adversities. Your adversities are your lessons to get you to your blessings. It's up to you. You design your life. People always tell me whenever I come home from prison, because I've been there a lot, man, it's tough out here. Man, life is rough, this, that. And I don't see it. I don't see it because all it takes is for you to be disciplined and deal with life adversities that they have you to go through. But a lot of time it's people's pride. They let their pride get in the way and they don't do the right thing to get them to where they need to be. And see, one of the things that I learned when I got my diploma in science success, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, he says the one that wins is the one who goes the extra mile, not the average Joe. And a lot of people don't understand is that no matter what job you have, work it as if you love it because someone is always watching. And it gave a story of a man who was a street sweeper back in, I think, the 20s or 30s. And back then it was a lot of elephants and horses. So he had to sweep up dung. But he did it every day, like he loved doing it. One of the big officers that seen that determination and hired him, and he wound up becoming a chief executive officer of that company years later. So just know that life's adversities are there for a reason for you. Pay attention. Understand that God is not going to do anything to hurt you. He's going to put you through what you need to go through to get you to where you need to be. It's time for you to stop being comfortable with being uncomfortable and learn to be uncomfortable with being uncomfortable so that one day you can be comfortable with being comfortable, if that makes sense to you. Like I said, I just want us all to win. And it's only through our adversities the change is going to take place so that we can win. And we have to go through life's adversities. We would love to live our lives backwards, but we must live it forward to get the lessons and the blessings. Just know that you can't cheat this. You have to live it. Like the brother said the other day, 2 days you have no power over, and that's yesterday and tomorrow. You got to live in the present right now. You make the changes in your life that you need to make because life's adversity is going to show up whether you like it or not. It's how you deal with them, it's how your life turns out. And with that, I'm going to close out. I want y'all to think about what I just told y'all and sleep on it. And y'all have a blessed night. Tac man out. All right, Scotty, you have a blessed one, my brother. You gonna kill me. I did the crazy thing again with the that template. I don't know how I did it, but call me. All right, one love. Tac man out. Peace.